Stuhr Museum of the Prairie Pioneer. Living history. It's your well, dude. And your lawnmower.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Stolly Farm. And Mr. Stolly came to America in 1849. And he came to this part of the country in 1857. And so the laundry room over there is the original cabin that he had built.
Wow. So this was it at first.
Right. So him and his wife, and they had 2 children when he came to America, and they built this cabin. And so, you know, why are the other settlers planting trees and Mr. Stolly doesn't have to? So the case went to Lincoln, and in Lincoln they couldn't make a decision as to whether he should keep his property or not. So it ended up in Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C. said he should lose the property. So then he bought the adjacent property from Clausover Miller, and then he lifted up his cabin and moved it across the property line and attached it to the 2-room cabin Clausover Miller had built.
So that was the original agreement to get the land? And
Yes.
he didn't do it, and the guy basically went to Washington, D.C.?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
What year was that?
That was, well, they came here in 1857, so then they were in court like in 1859.
Wow. That was a national case.
You know what that is?
You know what that is?
Yeah.
They burn really well.
Oh.
You know what cow manure looks like? Well, this is what cow manure is. It's called a cow chip. It's dry. So this was part of your job, as you were like, it was a chore to go out on the prairie and pick these up.
Not today.
Yeah, it was.
I would not have a job.
Well, then you
like
wouldn't
that.
have fire.
I would not have a job like that.
They used this for firewood because there weren't enough trees, so they had to use
Well,
this.
right now there's firewood now.
Well, but we're in 1849.
No, we're not.
Peter Henry Fonda.
Daddy, I'm trying to climb.
Yeah. Henry Fonda was born in that house?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the Fondas never owned the house, but they
Daddy.
rented it. And so then when he lived there till he was 18 months old, and then they moved.
Stop! Stop!
Tough living back in the day. This is where you get your shoes made and fixed.
Hello,
Hello. How's it going?
just fine. Yes, this is my home. I have a switchboard in my home. The phone company pays me $15 a month to have the switchboard in my home,
$15?
which is good money in the 1890s.
Yeah, that's really good money.
And when I get a call, this little ball here would turn red. If you'd like to go over and turn the crank on the side of the phone, I can show you how that works. Now see, the little ball turns red. That tells me I have a call. So I would see that I had a call. I'd plug this in, and I ask, number please. And you might tell me you wanted to talk to the doctor. So this is how I would plug the doctor. This is how I would plug the doctor in. And that's how your call was connected.
Wow. See that? That's how it was a long time ago. Back then?
Well, yes. In your smaller towns, the phone company would pay you to have the switchboard in your home. And you get into your bigger cities, you'd have a bigger switchboard in an office with several people working different shifts.
So it was a good way to earn incomes back in the day.
Yes, but the downside was you had to be here 24 hours a day.
Oh, so you couldn't go anywhere or anything, huh?
Not unless I had someone to get a replacement. I usually didn't have so much trouble getting replacements because everybody wanted this job because the telephone was brand new. It was the job to have. But I didn't get too many calls after 9 at night unless they were emergencies because decent people didn't call after 9.
People had better manners back
Yes.
then. That's a switchboard, just like in the house. Just walking all over. Hello.
This is where you go to get all your groceries, sugar, flour, everything you needed.
Wow. This is the general store?
This is the general store.
Okay. Anything cool about it?
Well, this is where you got everything. And if you brought in your grocery list, you would actually give the grocery list to me and I would go and grab everything.
Oh, okay. So that's how it worked?
Very personalized service. You could actually give me the list and then hop on to the next store. Once you came back, it would usually be all ready to go.
Modern day Walmart pickup, right?
Pretty much. As the town grows larger, more people will have cash to pay me with
Instead of trade?
instead of trade.
Okay.
But I will still mostly do trade, especially with farmers. Now, if they were buying a luxury good or a firearm or something I had to order from a company out east, they had to pay me with cash because I had to pay cash for those items.
Other than that, you could transact basically in trade.
I could.
Wow. Check out the town hall. A little bigger than Maskell, Nebraska's.
Ooh, I'm the president. Oh, we can go in this way.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Dollar store. Is there anything I can get for you today?
It's called a what?
A penny farthing.
A penny farthing?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
So that was like real prices in 1894.
It is.
Is this like a bathtub?
It is a bathtub, but it is expensive. It's $10.45.
Did you hear that? Whew, gotta save up for that.
We do have other tubs available. That one's still a little bit too pricey. If you look up there, we have some other tubs available, anywhere from 60 to 80 cents.
It's a barrel and some buckets.
How much would one of these stoves be? Because that's obviously something you'd need.
Yeah, the bigger end stoves would be anywhere from $20 to $25.
What is
And the
this?
smaller ones over there would be about 10 to 15.
What is this stove cost?
That one? Well, that one's not for sale. That's my stove. That's what I use when it's cold out here.
What about this one?
That one's about $25.
So this is where like you like buy like wire stuff, like those things to like bend wires.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's where you buy your tools. Blacksmith, we have just down the road a little ways. I think he's teaching a bunch of kids today. But the blacksmith makes things out of metal for you, right? He'll make you a dinner bell. He'll make you, what else could he make you? He can make you a fence.
He can make you an axe.
Yeah, he could make an axe. He could sharpen an axe. But in the year 1894, there are things called factories. They're starting to pop up in cities like Chicago. So, in Chicago, they can make you an axe and put it on the railroad. And now you have an axe that's made cheaper than going to a blacksmith. But that blacksmith will sure sharpen it up for you afterwards. If you dull it, he'll repair it.
Well, if you broke the law, this is where you'd go. If you got in trouble and you go to jail right here.
Daddy, it looks like someone was trying to escape. Daddy, hey Dad.
Nope, this was one of the more expensive rooms, I'm sure.
Ooh, now, I think the parents slept here.
No, this was a boarding house. This was like a hotel. This was for travelers. This place is incredible.
Meliason.
Meliason House.
It was built by Charles and Anna Meliason in 1879.
Wow. At nighttime, that would be your light. Oil lamps.
Oh, what?
Because there was no electricity. Absolutely amazing.
bench up, I think. Is this like the storage room? Because I see a lot of chests.
You are correct.
See that? That's your potty.
Where?
The pot under the bed.
Oh.
It's called a chamber pot. Sometimes you wouldn't want to go outside and use the outhouse.
How much girls and boys do you think there are?
This family had 2 boys and 4 girls.
So what about this stove? Is that like the one in the other house, or is that better?
I don't know much about the one in the other house, but this one, I've been told it burned coal, and the little panels look like glass, but they're not glass. It's some kind of natural occurring mineral,
Wow.
some kind of mica, I believe.
Daddy, are these like the people that like lived here?
You're correct. That is Charles and Anna Elias, and they built the house. Charles worked for the railroad. 2 ladies in that picture are Ida and Emma. The
And then
gentleman in the
those
center
are the
is
2 boys?
Frank, one of their sons, and that is Frank and his older brother Charles Jr. when they were much younger. That's family.
Daddy,
Really? Not just upper middle class in 1879?
Daddy, that was the kitchen.
Yeah, look at that stove.
That
So what house is this?
So this is the Lesher House. It was built in the 1880s. It's kind of a model home, like the equivalent of one today. They did live here, so it was a house that was lived in. But basically they would make it a point to say, oh, come over, look at this house I made so I can show you what I can put into your home.
Oh, so it was like a model home?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It was built by a carpenter who owned a carpentry firm. His name was Frank Talmadge, 1880s.
1880s. Wow.
Uh-huh,
Pretty much it's almost a mansion in the 1880s.
Yeah, this doesn't have a second floor.
Yeah. So it's not like the wealthiest of the wealthy, but it's you're pretty comfortable if you're living here.
Okay.
This stove is also another thing that would be pretty expensive. It's very decorative. It's also a self-feeding coal stove, so you put your coal or whatever fuel you're using in the top, and it would roll down as the fire burns through the fuel. So you didn't have to tend to it quite as often.
Yeah. Yep, that's a chair, so you can be warm by the stove, and then the bedroom's right there.
Replaced about every 30 years due to the buildup of soot and coal dust and all that fun stuff. And this wallpaper in this house would have probably been pretty expensive due to all the metallics on the wall. That's one way you can tell it's real, is all of the metallic finish to the wall, which would have helped bounce light around the house.
Wow.
It was put in when the home was refurbished in the 1980s to get ready for people to walk through it. But basically they found someone who had a whole bunch of it just stashed somewhere and put it in the house. Those are
Yeah, that was like, yep, that was her pins. House looked like.
Wow. Oh gosh. A bug just flew by me.
Yep, teacher would be right there,
This is where the classmates would be.
and the students would be right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's your buggy.
What?
Here's your buggy. This is how you got around in 1879.
Yep. Oh, there's an upstairs. And it's open. Wow.
And there's the final buggy. is where you wait for your train and buy tickets.
Look over there. That's a ginormous chest.
Here's the cargo area.
Can you open this? You can unlock. Oh, nothing inside. Ah!
You gonna skate this bench
Gosh.
and loading dock? Skate that bench and loading dock. You're not gonna rob it, are you?
I'm not. Be our lives.
Here's the bank.
Is this the thing? Let's see what's open.
Railroad post office. Wow, look at that. You'd have your mailboxes.
Daddy, look. Oh, this is open. Wow, this train looks cool.
Yeah, that's literally a ball and chain. It was used in the 1920s. Going to jail?
Yeah. People to sleep in. Daddy, you should sleep in here.
Oh, I don't want to sleep in there.
No. You should lay down here. It's really uncomfortable. So this is the schoolroom.
This is the schoolhouse.
I'm ducking.
Okay. That's the chalkboard where the teacher would write the lessons, and then that's where all the students would sit.
Wow.
You can almost feel energy in these old buildings.